Although microbes such as bacteria, protozoans, viruses and viroids are found everywhere, they are quite at home inside your mother's kitchen. And why not? Since microbes help us prepare various useful household products such as curd, bread, idli dosa, dhokla, to name just a few. For example, have you ever wondered how milk, when left overnight with a little curd in a warm place, turns into curd by morning? The little curd added to the milk initially acts as an inoculum or starter that has useful bacteria called lactobacillus, also known as lactic acid bacteria or LAB. LAB, which is present in millions inside the inoculum, multiplies at a suitable temperature and converts milk sugar lactose into lactic acid. The lactic acid in turn makes the milk thicker and partly digests the milk proteins, resulting in the formation of curd. LAB improves the nutritional quality as the curd now has increased quantities of vitamin B12. After the curd is prepared, it is stored in a cool place so that the LAB doesn't make it excessively sour by producing lactic acid. Another benefit of LAB is to check the presence of harmful bacteria inside our stomach. In addition, some bacteria help in curing of tea, cheese and tobacco. Curing is the process that determines the flavor of tea, cheese and tobacco based on the degree of fermentation and putrefaction they have undergone by bacteria. Different varieties of cheese are distinguished by their characteristic texture, flavor and taste, all of which depend on the choice of microbe used. For example, Swiss cheese has large holes because bacteria Propionibacterium sharmani produce a large amount of carbon dioxide. Roquefort cheese, on the other hand, acquires its characteristic flavor due to a specific fungus called Penicillium roqueforti that is used to ripen it. Microbes help in making of other traditional food like bread, idli dosa, dhokla and khaman by a common process of fermentation. To make bread, baker's yeast or Saccharomyces cerevisiae is added to uncooked dough. The dough rises due to exhalation of carbon dioxide by the yeast. Now, when the bread is baked, the carbon dioxide escapes to leave a porous and light bread. Yeast helps in the preparation of idlis and dosas in a similar manner. A mixture of ground rice and dal is allowed to stand overnight and ferment. This mixture rises and sours due to the growth of yeast cells, which lends the sour flavor in the idli and dosa. In case of dhokla and khaman, the batter is prepared in a similar way with Bengal gram dal and left overnight to be fermented by microbes. Yeast also helps in wine and beer preparation by fermenting the sugars present in fruit juices or barley to produce alcohol and carbon dioxide. This is the same principle that is used in the production of toddy, a traditional drink in southern India, made by fermenting the sap of the palm tree. Similarly, aerobic bacteria called Acetobacter converts ethyl alcohol to produce acetic acid or vinegar. This explains why the word vinegar means sour wine. Microbes are also used to ferment fish, soya bean and bamboo shoots to prepare different foods. Therefore, several of our traditional food and drinks are derived from various microbes every day. Microbes have proved to be useful inside our kitchen by helping us prepare various food items such as bread, curd, dosa, wine, and toddy. Naturally, the same underlying principle of fermentation that is used to prepare these products is also applied on a large scale in various industries. In industries, microbes are grown in large vessels called fermenters that are used to make beverages like wine, beer, whiskey, brandy, and rum on a large scale. One such microbe is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, that is known as baker's yeast due to its use in bread making. It also acts as brewer's yeast by fermenting different malted cereals and fruit juices to produce ethanol. So, depending on the type of beverage used for fermentation and the type of processing, such as distillation, different alcoholic drinks are prepared. For example, wine and beer, which are low in alcoholic content, are prepared by fermentation of sugar or starch products from plants, and their production does not involve distillation. On the other hand, whiskey, brandy and rum, which are high in alcoholic content, are produced by distillation of fermented malted barley, grape juice, and molasses respectively. Other than alcoholic beverages, microbes help in the industrial production of antibiotics, chemicals, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules. Antibiotics are chemicals produced by some microbes that can kill or check other harmful disease-causing microbes. In Greek, the word antibiotic means against life, that is, against the life of harmful disease-causing microbes. Penicillin is the first antibiotic that was discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928 by serendipity. While working on bacteria staphylococci, Alexander Fleming discovered that this bacterium did not grow around a particular mold called Penicillium notatum on unwashed culture plate. He realized that bacteria did not grow around the mold Penicillium notatum as it released a chemical. He called this chemical penicillin after the mold. Though Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, it was Ernest Chain and Howard Florey who applied the curative effect of penicillin against various infectious diseases. During World War II, penicillin was effectively used to treat several soldiers. For this contribution, both Chain and Florey were awarded the 1945 Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine along with Sir Alexander Fleming. After penicillin, other new antibiotics such as streptomycin that was used to treat tuberculosis were discovered. Streptomycin, along with other antibiotics like actinomycin, streptothricin, and neomycin, were all produced by different species of bacterial genera Streptomyces. Since then, more antibiotics have been discovered that have greatly helped save lives around the world by curing various infectious diseases such as diphtheria, leprosy, plague, and whooping cough. Besides alcohol and antibiotics, microbes also produce chemicals such as organic acids. A fungus, Aspergillus niger, helps produce citric acid, which is very useful for the soft drinks industry. Similarly, microbes such as Acetobacter, Clostridium botulism, and Lactobacillus or Lab produce acetic acid, butyric acid, and lactic acid respectively. Like acid, the production of enzymes by microbes has proved to be very useful for industries. For example, enzymes such as lipases are used in detergents for their ability to remove oily stains. Industrial lipase is produced from fungi such as Candida rugosa and Aspergillus niger. Likewise, pectinases and proteases produced by microbes such as Aspergillus niger are used in bottled fruit juices for clarification. This is why bottled fruit juices bought from the market are so much clearer than those prepared at home. Another enzyme, streptokinase, which is produced by bacteria Streptococcus, is genetically engineered to act as a clot buster. It is used to remove clots from blood vessels in patients suffering from myocardial infarction, commonly known as a heart attack. Furthermore, statins produced by yeast Monascus purpureus are used as blood cholesterol-lowering agents. They work by competitively inhibiting the enzyme that produces cholesterol in the liver. Cyclosporin A is another useful microbial offering by fungus Trichoderma polysporum. It is administered as an immunosuppressant to organ transplant patients so that their immune system doesn't reject the transplant. Lastly, bacteria and fungi are also used in microbiological cultures, where they are grown on nutritive solutions and allowed to colonize so that they can be studied. Therefore, microbes such as bacteria and fungi play an important role in the production of products such as alcoholic beverages, antibiotics, acids, enzymes, and other chemicals on an industrial level.